Sheena. How you doing?
Pretty good. It's actually me and my sister are here today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, hello. I'm Kelly.
It's nice to meet you, Kelly.
Yeah.
Hi, Kelly.
Hi. So, I've got Sheena and
Maria.
Maria. Nice to meet you guys.
Pop the phone up. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's nice to meet you too. I was looking at your website and I was just like, you know what? I think it's time. It's early, but it's time. Me personally, I just feel like I just want to have this session for just a peace of mind and, just a little bit of closure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, don't tell me whom you're wanting to connect with, but you said it's early. Has it been less than 6 months since the person passed?
Yes.
Okay. So I don't know if you read on my website that I usually recommend you wait at least 6 months. And that's for a few reasons. Now we can still proceed, but I just want you to understand why I suggest that. One is it's a hard time for you guys, right? You're still early in the grief stages. So I find that your energy, when you're really grieving strongly, it can be hard. Things can come through that maybe are validating that would normally bring inner peace, but when you're in those heaviest stages of grief, sometimes nothing will help except to have the person back, which, I can only do so much, right?
Right.
So there's that. Now the other thing is that for spirits who are newly crossed, not always, but sometimes what I find is they're still adjusting to how to manipulate the energy, right? So sometimes they may not come through as strongly. Now we can try, we can see, but I just want you to know these things ahead of time so that you don't take it as a negative sign or you're not disappointed if you don't get as strong a response as you're hoping for if it's still within the first few months. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, let's see, what else? Having said that, I do just like to find out, how is it that you found me in my services?
I was just doing a Google search, and there was a couple of mediums that were here in Greenville, South Carolina.
Okay.
But due to the coronavirus, they're only taking, they're not doing any right now, and a lot of them were booked up all the way until like October or November. So I was like, okay. So I just kept going through each one, and I found yours, and I read your reviews, and they were really, really, really good. And so I was well, maybe this is the one. And then I kept looking through, and I seen where you're doing the online sessions and FaceTime and Zoom chat. So I was like, well, maybe this is it. Because we've been totally quarantined for the past 2 weeks. So we're
Me too.
Okay.
Yep, same here. Yeah.
You're like the first outside person outside of work that we communicate with.
Well, I better make this good then. Pressure's on. or maybe it's the opposite. Maybe because I'm the only one you've seen, the bar's really low. Well, I'm glad you found me. Now, have you guys ever been to a psychic or a medium before?
I've been to a psychic. I have too. But I've never been to a medium.
Okay. Very good. Well, I asked that because I always like to start off by acknowledging the fact that every psychic, every medium is a little bit different. We're different in the services that we offer, the procedures that we use for those services, and just the way we connect to the energy can vary from person to person as well. In my case, I connect to the energy a few ways. So I am an empath, so I do feel the emotions of others. I'm clairvoyant, so I psychically see images. I'm clairaudient, so I hear messages. Clairsentient, so I physically feel the energy. And also claircognizant, so sometimes I just know things. But like I said, everybody's a little bit different. Now, I'm both a psychic and a medium. So a psychic just means I pick up on information outside of the 5 physical senses. A medium means I use those skills to connect with loved ones who've crossed over. So a little fun fact, every medium is a psychic, not every psychic is a medium.
Gotcha.
Now, I do offer psychic readings, which are good for getting insight into the path that you're on at the moment and what may be coming up for you in the future. But obviously today you've signed up for a mediumship reading, which is good for connecting with loved ones who've crossed over. All right? I like to make that differentiation just because once in a while I'll get somebody come to me and they want to connect with their loved ones, and then they want their loved ones to give them advice on what to do. And that's really not what it's about.
Right.
Okay? Now, for me, whenever I connect with whenever I'm doing a mediumship reading, I have to raise my vibration, and Spirit has to lower their vibration. We'll meet somewhere in the middle, and then I'll pick up on little tidbits, little flashes of information, convey that to you, and hope that it makes sense. You can help keep the energy flowing just by acknowledging when I say something that makes sense to you. If you can just say yes, or I understand, or that makes sense because blah, 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 then that's helpful just to keep the energy flowing. Now, if something comes through that does not make sense, I prefer that we just ignore it.
Okay.
As opposed to, try not to be like, oh no, that's wrong. Because then what happens is immediately I'm like, oh, I'm doing something wrong, and my energy drops, right? So It makes it harder to connect. But, a lot of times, I would say most of the time, information will make sense later if it doesn't make sense right off the bat. Now, that's not to say that incorrect information can't come through. It can, maybe there's some static on the line. Maybe my own brain chatter got in the way. I've actually had it happen multiple times now where my next clients, their spirits start trying to come in early. So if this is you, wait your turn. But what I don't want is if something comes through that just doesn't make sense, I don't want us to try and force it to make it fit. Okay?
Okay. I gotcha.
Now, I do just jot down a few notes in my notebook as I go along. So if you see me writing, that's what I'm doing. Do you have any questions about the process before we get started?
I'm a little nervous, and she is too. I'm a little nervous. It's very rare that I get nervous about stuff, but I'm so nervous.
Well, there's nothing scary about it.
I'm not scared. It's just I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
And with your reading, I know you were saying that you don't know who's going to come through.
That's true.
With both of us being here, because like in the past, she's lost people this close to her that I didn't know, and I've lost people this close to me that she didn't know.
Yep.
And we both together, since we're sisters, we have lost people,
Sure.
So is it likely that someone will come through just for her, or someone will come through just for me?
That could easily happen.
Okay.
Yep. I have no control over who comes through. Spirits know when you really want to connect with somebody. And I will say most of the time, the people that you really want to connect with will come through, but not always. Not always. Right?
Okay.
So we just have to go with it. And I've had it happen a few times where somebody will come through and people will be like, really? That guy?
Out of my head right now that I'm like, that's how it's going to be if they come through.
Yep. But
that's the part that's on me. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
Okay. But all right, I guess.
Yeah. But sometimes it's that guy that really has to say, I'm sorry, I was such a creep, or whatever it was, right? So what I usually will do in that case is I'll just say, okay, say your piece, and then thank you, and now let's try and invite the person that we really want to talk to.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions about the process before we get started?
Like my neck is tightening. Are you afraid? No, I'm not afraid at all. I'm not afraid. I feel like the
anticipation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know I've talked a little more than I normally do at the beginning here, so let's get right to it if you guys are ready.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and open up the session. One moment. I'm opening the door and clearing the way to invite guides or spirits of high vibration or benevolent intent to bring forth positive messages that serve highest good. Thank you. Okay. It feels like we've got several spirits here already. I'm going to start off with the female. Feels like the female's coming through a little more strongly, so one moment. Okay, and now this is an older generation female, so this is going to be a mother or a grandmother. Have you lost a mother or a grandmother? Or both?
Both.
Both? Mm-hmm. Okay, now I am getting a reference to a passing that was more sudden. Who had the sudden passing?
Our mother.
Okay. Now, does somebody have a D name? The letter D,
Yeah.
like Doris, or someone has a D name?
Yeah, my nephew. No, your son. Oh yeah, my son. I'm sorry. My son, her son Dean, or my fiance Demario.
Okay. Okay. Now, hang on a minute. Okay, now I am getting the reference to a more recent passing, like up to a year. Is your mom the one that you were hoping to connect with?
Yes.
And so she's the one that's more recent? That's under 6 months?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, good. Because she was saying that it has been more recent for her.
Okay.
Now, did she have some problems with her stomach?
Yes.
Now, I'm getting a reference of faith.
Uh-huh.
So she was strong on her faith, wasn't she?
She was.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And so she did you wonder if she knew that she was sick or was going? Yeah. Because she says that she did know, but she also put it in the hands of the Lord. She's doing very well. She uses the word glorious. Mm-hmm. Now the grandmother that's passed, is that her mom?
No.
Okay, that's your paternal.
Yes.
Yeah. But did they know each other? Because they're together in spirit.
They did.
I'm seeing something that's a blue color. Something that's a blue color. I'm not quite sure what this is. It might be like a bow or something. A blue bow or some type of decoration. Hang on, let me see if I can get clarity on that. This might be a hat. Did she have some hats that she was really proud of? I'm guessing church hats.
They were. It was just crazy hats.
Crazy hats.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can say church hats, like formal hats.
Yeah.
A couple of them.
With a lot of embellishments.
Yeah.
Like bows or flowers or fabric things.
Hers were more so like the big brim beach hats. And she had like the one of the small brims. What is it called? I don't know the type of it's like a brim. Yeah. Like the one in that picture.
All right, now she is talking about family, and it just like there are a lot of people. You have a big family?
Yes.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, huge. Yes. And she's like, she wants to point out every little one, like, and I want to recognize, DeAndre, and I want to recognize Shauna, and, Cassandra, and, she just wants to point out every grandchild, and she wants to say, and can you, 14, she's like, just going on about the family. Yeah. All right, now, I am seeing her in the kitchen. She's doing something, cooking up a storm. You guys, maybe she's getting ready for a party or something. I don't know. She is cooking.
That's what she likes.
That's what she. And she's like, okay, yes, and it's not just the cooking. I also did enjoy the eating, right? Because she's feeling like she's very huggable. You know what I'm saying? She's not like a svelte little twig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, who had the problem with the heart? Was that her?
Yes.
Okay. And she does not feel like the type of person that would go to a medium.
No.
No.
She's probably not happy that I did that.
She's laughing about that. She's saying, well, I guess so. She's actually delighted to be coming through.
Okay.
Just delighted to be coming through. So she's like, oh, okay. Yeah.
I love her so much.
Yeah, she's delightful.
She is.
Yes.
She is.
Just very down home, real,
Yeah.
Just a real, authentic, lovely woman.
Yeah.
Now she feels young, like she shouldn't have gone so early. Feels like it's the type of thing where we just felt like we should have had, at least another decade.
Yeah. Yeah, she was 50.
Oh my goodness, so young.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
Could you tell her that we love her?
Oh, honey, she says, oh, I know it. I know it. And she, of course, is saying, and I just love you to pieces. Yes. She wants to thank you for the way you honored her. Yeah. Yeah.
She's welcome.
Mm.
I wouldn't have had it any other way.
Yeah. She's talking about her buddy in heaven with her. I'm not sure who this is yet, but she's got so many spirits around her. So many spirits. It's like a party. She's got a whole party going on up there.
She was the life of the party.
Okay.
Everybody loves her.
Okay, that makes sense then. But yeah, there's one person in particular that she was close to. Hang on a minute. It's been a while since they passed. They've been there in spirit a long time. Hang on, let me see if I can get some clarity. All right, well, there are actually a few, so it's okay. Now there is a woman who is. This feels like it's her generation.
Okay.
So someone in her generation who passed a long time ago, a female that she's close to.
I know.
You know who that is?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so who is that? What's the relationship?
Her sister.
Okay, perfect.
Her sister passed 30 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And they were really close. She was her baby sister. One of her baby sisters.
Yeah. Yep. Perfect. Yeah, because she's just delighted to be back with her sister again.
Okay.
Joyful. Yeah. Now, she does say that, I'm sorry I left so soon. Did she help watch the grandkids and stuff? Because I feel like she was, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because she said that brought her a lot of joy, and she was very happy to help.
Thank you.
And she knows that, she would like to have been able to do more, right? She's a very giving woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she loved her grandchildren so much.
Yeah. All 14 dozen of them, right? I'm just teasing, but how many grandkids does she have?
5.
5, okay. But she says they're a handful.
Yes. Yes. They are.
Mm-hmm. And 5 grandkids at her young age. Yeah.
Yeah, they kept her busy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Her oldest is 13.
Okay. Wow.
And, the youngest is 4.
Mm-hmm. Precious.
Yep.
Yeah. She says they're all great kids.
Yes, that's what she would say.
Yeah. Smart and adorable, and yeah. Now she's one. She would not. She's not one of these grandmothers that you could just bowl over.
No.
She would tell them, like it is, right? Yeah. Keep them in line. Raise them right.
That's her. That sounds like her.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have any questions for her?
No, I just felt good that I got the clarity that she was satisfied with how we did her arrangements, and that she is, continuing to look over us and watch over us.
Absolutely.
And, I was glad that she's with her family and that she's happy.
Mm-hmm.
And, just wanted to tell her that I miss her and I love her. And,
Is there anything she wants us to do?
She says you are doing it. She says she knows it's hard right now, and she's proud of you. She's proud of you. She says, hang in there. Just hang in there. She says she knows it's hard. Let me just ask. Well, hang on just a moment. RST, does she have an initial that's like in that range in the alphabet, RST?
I can't think of.
Okay. And there's not a C like Cassandra. Go ahead and tell me, what's her name?
Betty.
Betty. Betty. Okay. All right, hang on.
That's my grandmother.
Ah, her initials are your grandmother's initials are RST.
Yes.
Perfect. Okay. And that's the grandmother that we already said was coming through.
Yes. But we've never got to meet her before.
Okay.
She passed away when my dad was very young.
Okay.
And he had been going through some things with her since her passing.
Okay.
I think he was like 16.
Mm-hmm.
And I had always kind of, wondered, how she was and stuff like that. But it's comforting knowing that she's there with my mom.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful.
From what I heard, that she was very humble and very sweet and patient and kind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. And somebody has a problem with the right foot or the right ankle.
That would be her.
Yeah.
She had osteoporosis, and her right leg was shorter than the left.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah. So these are just validations that it is really her, and she is giving a big heart. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything that she wants to tell my dad, or?
Yeah, let me ask her. Hang on.
Okay.
She says I've always been there for you.
I know.
I've always been there for you. Because he's had some tough times. He's had some tough times, and so but she wants to say that it's not just these tough times that she's been there for him with. She's been there for him the whole time.
I know.
Yeah. 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 Yeah, she's sending her love to your dad and to the whole family. Is there anything else you want to say or ask before I close out the session?
Is there anything that they want us to do in particular?
All right, let me just ask. Yeah, they're talking about to let go of the worry. Don't worry so much. Things will be fine. And don't worry about trying to make everything just right. Things are just fine. We know it's a challenging time, right now, challenging time in the world, and then to have lost your mom just recently, we know it's a challenging time. And we know you've got your hands full. Doing everything that you're doing, taking care of everything that you're taking care of. I'm seeing you guys be really busy trying to handle everything.
Yeah.
And they're saying it's okay. It's okay. If not everything gets handled, if the dishes aren't all done, or if there's a pile in the corner that you need to go through, not everything has to be perfect. It's okay. And I feel like in particular for Betty, that's kind of contrary because she really tried hard, right?
For her to say not to worry, she always
That's
everything
right.
had to be in its place.
Exactly. So she's seeing things from a different perspective now that she's not, bound in the physical, and she's like, well, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, but they're sending their love, and they definitely will continue to watch over you. They say they wouldn't miss it for the world.
No. That's our slogan. That's what she would say.
That's her slogan. Wouldn't miss it for the world. Excellent. All right, well, I'm just going to close out the session. One moment. Thank you all for coming through today with your messages of love and hope. I'm ending the session, closing the door with love and gratitude. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How
did that feel?
Oh my gosh, I feel relieved. I do too. I feel like just knowing that her spirit is still alive, and it just feels comforting. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah.